Okay, so yesterday I watched a video called Trust Him or Lose Him. And just the name of this video just irritated me, because that's, to me, the bottom line problem with jealousy, is that the thing that perpetuates it is feeling like you're completely unlovable. You're leavable if you feel jealous. If you don't trust somebody, and let me just think about this for a second. If you meet somebody and you just trust them without question, you can't have anything very valuable on the inside. It is because you have valuable things inside that you feel the need to kick the tires before you get in the car. So it's just, to me, the whole premise of just reckless abandon and trust without question is sick. And it's only that kind of requirement has to be set up by somebody who has nothing valuable in their lives, because if it's that easy for them to trust people, they can't be bringing anything to the table. Anyway, this guy said yesterday, okay, he's on YouTube, and I don't even remember his name, but he said, trust him or lose him. And basically he gives this scenario. If you're a woman walking with your boyfriend in the mall, and he was very condescending the way he was talking to women. He was like, don't get mad if he looks another woman up and down and checks her out, because it doesn't, if he doesn't really do anything, then it's supposed to be okay. In his mind, and this is so presumptuous that he's thinking, he's basically saying, it shouldn't hurt you unless he said this specifically. It shouldn't matter unless he drops your hand and chases after that woman and asks her to become his girlfriend. And I just thought, this guy has no clue what women want. This is not the problem. It's not the act of sex that women are feeling protective of. It is a man's desire that we feel is so valuable that we don't want to lose. It's what makes us high. It's what makes us feel so good about being his girlfriend. It makes life so sweet when you know a man wants you sexually, and specifically you, not just wants women and just grabbed you. That's not flattering to think that, I've said this before, but to think that he just loves women and he grabbed himself one beautiful woman and it just so happens to be you. That is not romantic to us. What's romantic to us is that he has a few standards. He got to know us personally, and he gave us the honor of being the one that gets to be the object of his sexual desire. Okay, we want to feel that that's what gives us life and gives us energy and makes us happy, which is in turn going to make you happy. I mean, if we're happy, usually men are happy. I mean, a man that has a woman that he can please is a happy man. Okay, so basically, let's see. His video kind of just implied, it's just amazing to me, something along the lines of women shouldn't feel jealous unless a man acts on his desires. He is sadly and horribly missing the mark. A man's desire is the thing we're jealous of. It's not him acting on his desires that we have such a problem with. It's the fact that 99% of the time when a woman feels betrayed in a relationship or gets cheated on, he has at some point misled her into thinking that she was the one he desired, and then went on down the road and acted on some other desire that he had omitted. So she basically feels it's basically like control, because it makes a woman open herself up and give him certain things based on false information, on information that says, I want you. He claims to only want her, only have eyes for her for months or years. She continues to have children for him, or let him have sex with her and let him into deeper places, into her thoughts, and she kind of answers to him, well, I'm going here, here's who's going to be there, here's what I'm doing, and then she shares her thoughts and feelings. These are all very, very VIP parts of a woman's heart and mind. If you trick a woman into giving you these things, access to this kind of information and this kind of sex and this kind of intimacy, she's gonna show you and give you these things based on the fact that she thinks she's the only one you want sexually. That is the number one thing that's going to make a woman let you into her heart and life, thinking that she's the only one, and the only one you want sexually. When a man pretends that she's the only one he wants sexually, and she gives him these things, the potential for bitterness when he cheats on her, or somehow later on it dawns on her that she is not the only one she wanted sexually, she will feel tricked. This is how nasty divorces come about. This is what nasty breakups are made of. There is a way to quit controlling women and to give them all the information they need to make a sound decision with their sexuality and their heart. It's just, there's no reason to trick women. That's mean, and it's not fair to women, and it's not fair really to any family that comes from that union. So if a woman's tricked into building a family or letting a man into her body based on the fact that she's the only one he wants sexually, and then later on he goes, ta-da, you know, I don't really want you only, or if he just never really understood what it was that she was marrying him for or committing to a relationship for, that's what a woman thinks she's signing up for. A woman wants to be the only one you want sexually. That's the bottom line. So these pat answers and cures for jealousy, like just don't worry about it, these are coming from men that just don't get it. And basically, it's just time for men to evolve another step and come into our world a little bit more and realize it is not this cheating that we're so afraid of. It's the desire going elsewhere. Here's the thing. If you said to a woman the first time you thought it, let's say you're in a relationship and maybe she does something over and over you don't like, maybe you think she's demanding, or maybe you're just losing attraction for her. If a man said to her the first time he felt a loss of attraction, like, wow, that kind of turns me off, believe me, she would sit up and listen. And it wouldn't have to get 3 years down the road where you're acting like everything's fine and now you're cheating on her. You know, that's a slow evolution. Part of the humiliation of finding out your husband's been cheating on you is the fact that he had to have been living a lie for so long. I mean, that's not something that he just did overnight. This is a slow revelation, a slow dawning on somebody that he had to have thought day by day, in and out, moment by moment, this isn't good, this isn't turning me on anymore, this isn't for me anymore. And then he had to think things like, I don't want to hurt her, or something like that, or maybe something a little more selfish, like I don't want her to have a response that I don't want her to have, like leave me or be angry. And so he controls those emotions by omitting the fact that he's wanting other people. Well, if you let somebody see the actual process you're going through, you have much greater odds of getting what you want. That advice is for men, or women. If you say to a man or a woman long before you've cheated on them, hey, I'm getting turned off, this is getting serious, if your partner cares about you, they're going to sit up and listen. And so anyway, how about before you start cheating, you say something to somebody and give somebody a chance to turn it around and say, this is what you're doing that's turning me off, and it's getting really serious. When you talk to me like that, I lose all attraction for you. And you don't got to be mean. Here's another thing. Me and my son were talking yesterday, and it was a brilliant conversation. I'm so impressed with the way my kids have turned out. They really are, it's just a new kind of mindset about women, and I love it. It's amazing. So anyway, Alex said to me yesterday, hold on a second, what was it? He said that, let's see, okay, if sex is to men what conversation is to women, then it's safe to say that what's happening to men in conversations is usually what women feel like in sex. So part of why when a woman gets so emotional and yells or gets so angry, part of the reason a man exits is not because he can't feel anything. And this might be news to a lot of women. It's because he feels so much. He can feel what you're feeling so much that he literally exits because it's overwhelming, or because he feels like he's agitating you and he doesn't want to do that to you. He's thinking your emotions feel the way he feels when he has those emotions. He doesn't know a woman can handle more emotion without killing over, you know. Same thing's true in sex. Less is more. I'm not saying less sex, But you don't have to pound so hard to get a reaction. You don't have to come on so strong. Sometimes it's the gentle breeze. We can feel more than men tend to think. So here's the thing. Part of why we're so sensitive about a man wanting another woman, part of why that's so threatening to women, is because when a man desires another woman, that's what we use to feel so good. That's what we value so much about our connection in our relationship. So basically, let me say it this way. When a man, we feel everything. Just like a man can feel everything emotionally. I mean, like when a woman's angry, how you're so sensitive to that. That's how women are when a man wants someone else. We're very sensitive to that. We can feel all that desire, and it's shocking and crushing. And it's the same way when, like, if a woman yells at the man that loves her, how crushing and devastating that is. How if she disrespects him and yells at him, that's how it is when a man so powerfully wants somebody else. Or it's just humiliating. Or if he's rough in bed and just doesn't seem to understand that we are responding. If a man could just take the pressure off of a woman. Or what if in a conversation a woman said to a man, you know, answer me, say something, well, say something, and she puts all this pressure on a man to respond. He'll just lock up. Same thing in bed for a woman. If you want her to get off and you want her to have a response and you're just like, you know, constantly tapping your foot, it feels demanding and it puts so much pressure. Just take the pressure off. Make it okay if a woman doesn't get off sometimes in sex. And you'll find that she can get off more. She can respond more if you take the pressure off. Same thing with men in conversation. Take the pressure off to make him say something and he'll say more. So basically, you know, that's what's happening. That's why women are so sensitive to a man wanting somebody else. And that's why all this advice about, you know, thou shalt not be jealous is just garbage. It doesn't do anybody any good. All it does is make people that feel jealous feel bad. It's almost like saying, maybe you're, you know, you get on a basketball team and you're 5'10". You're 5'10" tall. And he says, well, to be on the basketball team, you need to be 6'3". But you're not. I mean, it's kind of like we're just disqualified. It just makes us want to give up. I mean, that's what it's like when you say, don't be jealous. But you are. What then? Do we drop ourselves off on the curb and just leave ourselves? I mean, you can't just dump yourself off. You need some new information. So, I suggest that there's just some understanding that needs to happen. And some of the understanding is not just in the jealous person. Sometimes it is the environment and the world around us that needs to learn some new things. If you want to, if men want to love women, they're going to have to learn what works for women. If women want to love men, and pretty much right now, men are getting a lot of what they want. There's naked women on all the magazine covers. Men are obviously easily turned on, and it's easy for them to have all these sexual responses because the world's set up a little different for them. They're at the top of the food chain. And if somebody won't listen to what women need, if men don't stop and start to take an interest in what we need to be turned on and what we need to give a genuine response, if we're constantly being scared into reacting the way that men want us to, and I said this the other day in my Find the Trust meeting, when you flip through a porn magazine and you see all these women that are naked and they have a good attitude, they look accepting and happy and open and safe, that's not what women are experiencing. Those women have a lot of lights and cameras and a whole staff of men sitting there looking at them. They don't feel safe. And if that doesn't matter to you, then you're just, I mean, that's just like poking somebody to get them to scoot over instead of asking them to scoot over. You don't hurt people to get the reaction you want. That's immature and lame. You ask for what you want and you give people the freedom to meet your need or not. And then if you're going to be the type that just hurts somebody to get the reaction you want, you can't complain if their response is not genuine. So if you want a woman to fake orgasm in bed, continue to scare her into responding. Continue to make her think that if she doesn't give you sex, you're going to cheat on her. Or continue to make her think that if she doesn't trust you, you will leave her. Those are harsh things that are not very loving. If your partner has a trust issue, come down to where she's at. Try to understand, because she does have a brain and she's legitimate. There are legitimate reasons she's feeling that way. So stoop down in kindness and find out why your lover is feeling so sick inside, if you love her. And the next time we talk, I want to talk a little bit about kind of like all the things they say about men being visual and women being emotional, something along those lines. We'll see. But anyway, post your comments below. Let me know what you think. And it's a pleasure as always. And I'll talk to you soon.